What's good, everybody? Today I got my second story time, and today is actually going to be a story time about how I got suspended for throwing a pill away, and I had to take drug classes because of this too. This all started about 5 years back. I remember I was in 7th grade. I remember me and all my homies always went into school late. Like, we would all hang out before school started, and then we would go into the school late. So this day in specific, my homie Brandon actually was telling me about how he had some sort of pill on him. And I remember I was kind of sketched out right away because I was like, why would you bring a pill to school if you weren't going to do anything with it? So I remember I took it from him because I was like, whatever, I could probably just get a quick free $5 off of this. So after I took the pill, I remember I shook him up or whatever, and then I started walking to class. So I remember back then we actually had homeroom, so I walked into homeroom with this pill on me, right? And after asking around, I could tell nobody in there really wanted it, so I was like, alright, whatever, I'm gonna see if anyone wants it in my next class. I remember all my homies told me they didn't really want it or anything. So I was just like, alright, I'll see if any of the homies in the next class want it. So I remember in my second class, I actually asked my homie that was in there that did like take pills and shit like that. I remember I asked him if he wanted it. So then I was just like, alright, well damn, I'm not gonna be walking around school all day with this. So what I actually did was I ended up throwing it into the trash can in the front of class, like it was like a piece of paper or whatever, right? And I mean, when I did this, hella people see me. I remember everybody was looking at me, but I didn't think anyone knew what I threw away. Anyways, I remember after I did that, like 10 minutes later, this girl asked to use the bathroom. And the only reason this is important is because she actually didn't go to the bathroom. She actually went to rat me out. I don't know what I did to this girl, but for some reason she had it out for me. Because the way I see it, she seen me do that and she was just like, oh, this is my chance to get it right. I mean, why else would you rat on somebody for doing something that doesn't even affect you, right? Anyway, she gets back from the bathroom. And the class is still going on for like 20 more minutes. I'm just chilling on my phone. Anyway, I remember the dean of the school and the janitor came walking in, and they both had gloves on. And they actually they lifted up the trash can and started looking around. Unfortunately for me, when they were in the classroom looking around the trash can and inside of the trash can, they didn't find anything. But the dean actually did tell me to follow him to the office. I got in trouble a lot in middle school, so this wasn't really anything new. So when I got into the office, they told me to just sit down until they were ready to question me. Yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention this. They didn't only bring me up, but they brought the kid that was in that class with me too. So they actually called him in first to question him about everything. I mean, I trusted him, so I wasn't really that worried. And then it came down to my turn. And when they called me in, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous. And I actually remember as soon as I got in there, the dean hit me with, alright, so where'd you get the pill that you two threw away? And as soon as he said that, I knew it was over. He already knew what happened. It was raps. So basically what this meant was that my homie just snitched me out and the dean knew everything, right? So I remember I told him, I was like, I don't know, bro, my friend just gave it to me. And he was trying to get the name of the friend that gave it to me, but I never told him. And they still didn't even have the pill, so they really had no proof that I did anything. But then I remember he was like, alright, so this is the story you're going with, go back out there. So when I went back outside of the dean's office, like his interrogation room or whatever, back into the little lobby, and I sat down, I remember the secretary actually got on the phone and called my mom. And this was at like 9 in the morning, so my mom had only been at work for like 2 hours. And I remember I could hear my mom's voice through the phone, and she was furious. I mean, she was furious. Like I said before, I actually got suspended a lot in middle school, so my mom was already kind of fed up with like me getting in trouble every week. So I remember the secretary was like, alright, thank you. And she hung up the phone, right? And I remember she told me, she was like, your mom's on her way to come and get you. I was like, damn, I already knew I was about to get my ass beat when I got home. But then the dean actually called me into his office again. When I went in there, he was like, alright, I need your signature here or whatever, because I was getting suspended. Now, this wasn't anything new. I've signed suspension papers before, but what I hadn't signed before was these papers for drug classes. They had me put my name down on this paper to attend, that swore that I would attend a drug class before I came back to school. And I remember I told him, I was like, you guys can't even prove that I did anything. I didn't even do anything wrong, right? But then the janitor that came into the room originally actually walked into the dean's office with the pill, and they found it, right? So yeah, I mean, I pretty much was busted with everything. They had the pill. I mean, that shit was deep, right? And I remember they had police officers there, and the police officers were actually looking at it, and they ended up telling us that it was a hydrocodone. I don't know how many of you are actually familiar with like pills or anything like that, but a hydrocodone is definitely not a pill you want a 7th grader to have. I don't know why my homie had this. So yeah, then my mom actually got to the school, and I remember she started crying. She wouldn't even look at me like normally, right? And I remember the police officers and the dean told her what kind of pill it was, and that I needed to attend a drug class before I came back. So basically, after my mom signed the papers and they told her that I couldn't come back or whatever, me and my mom started walking to her car. and I remember she would not talk to me. I remember we got in her car and I tried talking to her, and she was just pissed. She would not look at me. So yeah, as soon as we got home, I remember I got my ass beat from my mom. She was pissed. And it's actually sucked because like I was already, grounded off the game. I couldn't hang out or anything. The only thing I had was my phone. And then my mom took my phone from me, so I had nothing. Remember, she always told me back then I was lucky to even have a bed in my room, and I don't blame her. So yeah, after I took the drug class and everything, I ended up going back to school. I remember the kid Brandon, the one that gave me the pill in the first place, actually never got in trouble, but the homie that was in my science class that threw it away with me, he actually got suspended too. I remember at the time I was really confused about how they found out, but a couple months later, the little white girl that was in my class, she told one of my friends or something about it. And then my friend told me that basically she confessed that she was the one that snitched on us, right? So yeah, I don't really know why you snitched, but hey, Brianna, if you're out there and you watch this video, why'd you do me like that? So yeah, guys, that's basically the end of this story. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like. I just want to say thank you to everybody that supported the last video. And I'm going to be uploading every day of February, so be on the lookout. Thank you again. Peace out.